Hello and welcome back to the Lich Please podcast. This is episode 16, and I'm joined by just Alex this time. It's just going to be me and Alex back to us
Yeah.
two, just chatting some utter shite.
Yes, some utter nonsense. Oh
Yeah.
boy. Yeah.
So
So, yeah.
it's two cracking episodes coming, like we've just released.
Yeah, wow. So I think it will be Encounter Smith and Gabe. Gabe
Of
Greenspan
the
is
last
the
two that we've
episodes.
released.
Are the
Yeah.
last two.
For you that are confused, we have recorded. This is our fourth recording this week.
Yeah.
We've been recording at most days this week to try and get some good content out for you guys over Christmas. It's been
Yeah.
intense,
Yeah.
but
Because
all of them have been incredible.
yeah, we've got some insane. Well, obviously you guys have seen the past two, and then we'll have
One more that
one
we've
more
pre-recorded.
next week.
We are recording one next week.
Yes. And then we'll record another at some point. We've got a lot of recordings to do, and
We've got a lot of booked in.
if the timeline seems skewed when we talk in the episodes, it's because we've recorded a lot in the same time. So when we just go last week,
Yeah.
we're guessing, all right? Like our last week to us is like a day ago from the recordings.
Honestly,
So
but that's how
yeah,
prepared we are. We're organized. We're organized.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. But it's been interesting. We've talked a lot, and then we've coming up with some new ideas and conversations in the
segments, yeah.
episodes. Yeah, new segments. We've had talks about repeat guests for
We have.
some more in-depth conversations, because obviously when we get first-time guests, it's relatively the same like topics. But if we have repeat guests, it would be new conversations, like in
Yeah.
depth, which would be nice.
Which I think you guys
Yeah.
can get involved in. If you guys want us to cover anything like overland travel or how to make combat more engaging, definitely leave us comments and let us know that's what you want us to cover. And we can get hopefully, cross fingers, any of the guests we've had on to come back and have a more directed conversation. And
Yeah.
we can really sort of delve into one topic in particular.
Yeah, and I think we've got some plan for the new year as well. Some interesting guests
We have
that
very
we
excited
talked
for
to.
those.
Yeah, it should be very fun.
Got some in the
Um,
pipeline.
yeah, quite a
And you
few
know,
things.
we've said Brennan by April.
We're on track.
That's not confirmed. Don't take our word for that. That's a goal of ours.
Yeah, that would be nice. It would be very nice.
It
Yeah.
would be incredible. You know,
So
Brennan, April, Matt in June.
yeah, I reckon that sounds about right,
It's
right? Like
realistic.
yeah, just what people expect. Cool. So,
Yes.
yeah, recently we've been talking. At least recently, we've been talking about my pirate campaign, because this
We
was the
have.
original timeline to
It
start it.
was. We would have been gearing up for the Arc One finale of
Yeah,
Ulador.
we would
Gearing
have
up
been.
for. It would have been next week. Would have been the arc finale. Big things would have happened. We would have had an incredible podcast episode to talk about the end of the arc,
Yeah,
and it's not
it's
materialized.
not happening.
No,
No,
we're not even close. You guys have done what,
genuinely,
3
we're
Goblin
so
Deads?
far. We've done 3. 3.
Something.
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
3.
3, and you're on session 30.
Yes.
To put that into perspective, just so to give you a heart attack here, Friday, session 3 defeated the Slards.
Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, we get distracted. I mean, we do other things like,
You do.
yeah,
And it's definitely really engaging, and it's just interesting to seeing how the different playstyles of each group.
yeah, yeah.
I think I definitely prefer the way that the style that I would want as a player is the way that you guys do things, sort of the slower, sort of more not what's the word, exploratory. That's the word,
Yeah,
exploratory.
yeah. I guess so. I mean, we do a lot of Yeah, we do explore a lot, and as much as I want to start my campaign, I would rather not just rush the whole thing. Um,
Yeah,
like, yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm thoroughly excited to start it, but I've, when you start that campaign, that means we'll be stopping the other campaign for like 3 months. So it's like, let's get as much out of it as we can at the moment before we stop.
and I'm gonna
Yeah,
start speeding things up for you guys and not give you as many like side quests to do alongside the goblins to
yeah,
try and like get you guys quicker.
understandable. Um, I mean, I'm sure we'll pick things up a bit. I can imagine
Yeah,
like the
maybe by
later ones will pick up.
maybe
Um,
this time next year.
yeah, maybe. I reckon. I reckon
I don't think so.
2 months
I
max.
think so. I think about that.
Yeah, I think that's where I can see us completing like February, like early Feb or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's. I mean, once it gives me more time to finish writing things. Like I've very much procrastinated the entirety like the creation of most of the lore. Like I just procrastinate. I have the important things. That's all that matters.
Good.
So yeah.
Good. So we
Mm.
had a brief conversation. I think it was fuck, after one of the recordings this week about how
Yeah.
you've broken down your arcs, and then we had a moment where we were like, "Wait, no, we can't have this conversation now." So I've been waiting for days to hear about your sort of planned arcs.
Yeah. So I've planned like four. There's going to be more than four. I've just hashed out in my head like four of them. But the first one uh, is I don't think it's going to be like a traditional D&D like first arc, right? Like a lot of people who do first arcs, it's mostly you follow the storyline, um, like the main hook, or like a part of a storyline or something. There's usually a quest line. But for my first arc, uh, it's basically just like letting you guys be pirates.
Oh, that's sick. That's
And
really
and
cool.
and having you guys will have your backstory moments. You're all gonna get. It's not gonna be like a specific character arc as well. It's not gonna be someone's moment. It's the first arc's just gonna be you guys will have some more backstory development for your characters, like their own personal story, and um, just letting you guys be pirates because for the first it's going to be like 3 months or something, or 3 or 4 months of the first arc. It's just straight up, and the end of it will be the start of the like plot hook. But for the first, I just thought we've hashed out all these rules and these pirate things, and we're excited to be pirates. I'll let you guys be pirates for like 4 months or whatever. Um, like go crazy, be three, like do what you want. And then I'll just throw in your personal storyline like plot hooks. Uh, Give you guys like some pirate quests and pirate things to do, travel the seas and whatnot, and then you'll start to see a storyline, I guess. But at the end of Arc One,
That's
yeah.
I think that's quite interesting because I think we've kind of done it the opposite in a way. Because my arc one is very much story driven. It's like that, and then my arc two is currently what I've currently got planned. Is just you guys adventuring,
Ah,
just a bunch of missions and a bunch of just exploring the world and going from like country to country and
yeah,
just doing things.
yeah.
Um,
Mm.
so it's funny how we've like planned it the opposite way around.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
my arc two, you said that your arc one is going to be quite short, so
yeah,
your arc two is going to be longer. I
yeah.
think
Marks
my
is
arc
going to be
two is
quite
going
long.
to be quite short.
I can see my Arc Two maxing out at a year. It won't be a year.
Oh,
Unless you guys really sidetrack, it won't be a year. Um, it will be the same amount of time as we've done like Arc One for this for
okay.
Ulador, right? It will be like 8 months or 7 months or whatever. It depends how you go about things. Like I can't predict the future, so really it really
No,
depends, right?
yeah, I didn't predict it
Yeah.
take you guys this long.
Yeah. To be fair,
I didn't factor this in at all.
yeah. No, I think it should be decent. But I mean, there's still going to be story stuff. I've already gotten a few. Like, obviously, I know the backstories for a few people. Not like in depth, just a rough idea. But I've already put in how that relates to the main story for a few of the characters, and like plot hooks for them. Basically, the minute that I sit down with any one of you lot and do your character is I decide on that point how you lot are linking into the main story.
Okay.
Because it just comes like it's very easy, especially when you guys decide that you want relations with a god. It makes it so much easier. Like, don't get me wrong, you don't have to have a relation with a god. Like, I'll still find a way to fit it in. But if you do, it makes the plot hooks
Yeah.
really like easy to like work in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying my campaign's largely based on gods. I'd like to put it out there now, and to no one get their hopes up. The gods are just there; they just exist.
Yeah.
It makes
No,
things easier. Yeah,
I get what you're getting at. Yeah.
but yeah, a lot of the lore preparation and stuff that I have done is mostly just like Greek mythology research, straight
wow.
up, for just to find the stories. The stories I'm not going to be able to put in, because some of them are insane, like
Yes. Yeah.
absolutely insane. Yeah,
The Greeks were unhinged.
they were, and B is things that will be like make for interesting things. Like I've got some factions, so I'll release some lore here because it's going to be in the document anyways. Um,
Oh,
so I
wonderful.
may as well talk about it on the podcast. But I'm going to have after the one shot that happened.
Yes.
Basically, the noble families kind of just collapsed. I mean, you killed most of them. Like
We did.
a lot of
But
nobles got blown up.
if we hadn't have blown up that island, how different would the law be?
Quite so from where you guys killed the nobles, basically
Yeah.
five of the families, I say the families, five of them split into factions. Can you pause it? Cool. So yeah, because the families died, five of them um have basically risen to their own factions. It's not nobles. So nobles aren't a thing anymore. Like you guys will find like remnants of the noble families and maybe like remaining noble lineage, but like nobles aren't a thing anymore. So what happened is it was like a big power rush, I guess, and five factions related to five of the gods has risen, and then there's a sixth faction, which is like a rebellion thing. Haven't got a name for it yet. I'll get there. But it's like a rebel faction that kind of despises gods and all sorts. But yeah, so
that's intriguing. I
yeah.
might have to side with the rebels.
Well, the big thing about the factions is they're all like pirate factions. They're basically all pirates. Like a lot of countries became like independent to themselves, and because the nobles was like a united front, but obviously they all died. So a lot of countries are just independent to themselves now, and then the factions kind of just do what they want, and it's like a really big a pirate world. But the rebellion faction A despises gods and B wants unity. So yeah, it made a big change. If you lot let the nobles live like stay alive, though A those factions wouldn't exist, and B it would be like a more united world. And pirates would
Okay.
probably struggle more. I think you guys probably did a better thing for yourselves, because pirates would just be like there'd be less of them, and they'd be like
Yeah.
hunted. So yeah, it's
Well, I guess we
yeah.
did a good thing for your campaign then.
Mm.
So
Well,
you're
yeah,
welcome for
for you
saving
lot,
your
yeah.
campaign.
Thanks. Yeah, it definitely benefited you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
think when you planned that, you definitely knew who you were targeting as like us as a party, being like,
yeah,
if we have a chance
yeah,
to blow up a floating island, we're gonna take
yeah.
that opportunity to blow up a floating island.
Oh, yeah. When
Like
I
it
put
was
the
never
option out
really
there, yeah, when I put the
yeah.
option out there, I knew
I
you
don't
guys
think
wouldn't
it was
choose
even
it.
a conversation.
No, not really. I was just like, maybe you guys might not. maybe you guys might be nice, and then I'll just like, there's like a
Well,
1% chance of that happening. So yeah,
Mike was playing, so
yeah, yeah.
I
It
feel like that
genuinely,
was just a given.
yeah. I had no faith. I had no faith that it was not gonna happen. But yeah, basically, like that's like the law side of things. No one knows about the eggs, and it.
No, the eggs are curious. I'm really interested
Yes,
about the eggs. I'm
yes.
thinking I have,
Go on.
I have no real ideas yet.
Well,
I have,
it's
I
it's
mean, I've
it's
kind of, I don't know you're going Greek. So my one
yes,
thing right now is maybe they're titans or they're some kind of new deity kind of thing, and that's where I'm sitting. But
yeah,
obviously, we've not done anything. We've only just seen the baby.
yeah. The one child, yeah. I mean, there's so I can see why you think that because there's 12 eggs, right? And there was 12
Yeah,
titans, 12 primordials, 12 yeah, like it makes sense. I can see the thought process.
yeah. But you're saying I'm
But
wrong.
you might be.
It sounds like you're saying I'm wrong.
The thing with the eggs is it's a obviously it's not going to be in the law document because it's a big plot hook,
Yeah.
like huge. B only Boblin actually knows about the eggs because it's been
Okay.
like a long time since that happened, and I think the only person who would be alive is Loblin because in this world goblins tend to live for a very long time. Uh, because they were made by God and bloody blah whatnot. Um,
Okay. Okay.
but yeah, the eggs is a very important plot hook. Just if you, so you guys got to remember that when we when we start my campaign that the eggs are important.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, though I can't imagine you lot seeing the eggs till like the third or fourth arc. It depends how you go about
Oh
things.
God.
It really
Okay.
depends. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I'm hearing, guys, is we have to beeline for the eggs immediately. Level 3, straight for the eggs,
yeah.
and
um,
die immediately.
yeah. I've even like thought about the your guys' levels through the arcs as well.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think
What are
end
you
of arc
thinking?
one. Um, I think you guys will be so you start in level 3 and end of arc one. I think definitely level 4, maybe level 5. It's 3 months. It's like 3 4 months. It depends how much exploration you do and depends how much like things you get involved with. But if you do a lot in those months, and then I'm like, cool, yeah, you guys are quite experienced, then I'll give you level 5. If not, then you need to be level 4. Like it really just depends.
Okay.
Um, yeah, but I
I was
I
gonna say.
want
Oh,
you
go on.
know I don't know, it's cool. I want the levels to progress faster than Ulador, but like not fast.
Okay. Well, let me say something that's gonna make you very happy. I think
Mm.
during my arc 2, you will probably go from level 3 to perhaps level 5 or 6.
Oh, oh, that's nice. That is quite
Yeah,
nice. Yeah,
but you will obviously hit level 3 during arc 2 as well, so it'll be a very fast progression, I think, relatively.
yeah. See, because my arc two, I think I will max you guys out at level 8. If like, and that's
Oh
not like
wow.
not even necessarily like it could just be level 7. Because it's like a long arc, but it won't be a like the first arc where you do a lot of things. Um, like well, depends how you guys go about it.
You think
But
your arc 2 might be quite linear?
yeah, yeah. I think the thing is, I think you guys will be inclined to be more story driven in Arc 2 as opposed
Yeah,
to explore and do story afterwards because of the plot hook. So
I think
yeah,
generally looking at the
yeah.
party and having a
Oh,
DM
can
for
you
them.
pause it 1 sec?
Don't know where we were.
Not a clue. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, no. So
Yeah,
I think yeah, Arc 2 will be linear for me.
I guess from DMing you guys as a party, I think you are very story driven in
Yeah,
general because you are definitely. I mean, the main story that I'm running is the obviously the meteor and the prophecies, and you get to focus significantly more on that, which you're not getting paid for, than the quest with the goblin and everything else, which you are getting paid for.
Yeah.
So I think that's a
Yeah.
good sign that everyone is very much story driven and wants to uncover that kind of thing. So if you've got kind of like a mystery of things going on in Arc 2, I think we're absolutely going to be like, okay, we need to go here, uncover that, then we need to get this piece and go there because we need to find out what's happening. And I'll be definitely driving that.
Yeah. I think it helps as well that most of us are all live. I think,
Yeah.
which is why it will be like a big thing. And I've already hashed out like 3 possible BBEGs. Like
Oh, nice.
I like 3. It depends on the route you guys go down, but it could be like any one of them. It really depends
Oh,
how you play
wow.
it. So yeah,
I
and
think
it will be fun. Yeah.
I've got about 15
Damn.
possible ones.
See, but I could think of like a few that are possible BBEGs from your campaign. Like
Yeah.
some of the
Okay.
Chaos Gods, like
Yeah.
definitely. If we were depending where we went, the Nartigars, like easily. If we were just really bad people and decided to fight the king, like then yes. There could be all sorts. Even like the actual gods, Orifeli, because evil person. Um,
He's not okay. He's not evil.
he's not evil. He's just
I've told
destructive. Yeah,
I've told you this before. He's not evil because
yeah,
the way that they look at destruction in this world is that destruction is part of life.
yeah,
So
yeah,
he is considered a good god because destruction is a facet of life, and so is sorrow.
yeah, yeah. He's just a tad psychotic, if you will.
Oh,
Um,
he's a nutter,
yeah, yeah,
absolutely,
yeah,
and he's unhinged. But
yeah.
his domains aren't necessarily evil.
I guess. But definitely like the normal gods could be BBGs.
I think so.
I could see there being like a lot for your campaign. To be fair,
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities, and knowing you guys, I fucking need them because
yeah, yeah,
everyone's chaotic as shit.
that is very valid. I mean, there will be like mini bosses as well, uh, which like
Yeah.
it will probably be like people personal backstory bosses type of thing.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
because that's what I like. That's just what I've got in my head.
You should
Yeah,
make my ex-husband Mike's grandfather your BBEG for my arc.
maybe he is. Whoa. I mean, maybe. To be fair, I could do that. I really could. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that I've got like planned for you lot. I'm mostly excited for the ship stuff. Like, it's gonna be fun. I think ship
I
combat.
think so.
Yeah,
It should. I'm looking forward to seeing how you've properly done. Like you've described it, but like I'm looking forward to seeing it in practice.
yeah. I kind of want to do like
Actually, in
a little
I
like
think that'd be
during
good.
session 0, like just be like, oh,
I think that'd be good.
let's do a little practice run of how this works because
I
it's
think that's a good idea.
yeah. And then I've got there's all the roles and stuff. Yeah, genuinely, I've done like a bunch of stuff to expand the amount that you guys can do. Uh,
Good.
so it should be fun. It should be
That's
very
really
fun.
good.
Yeah.
We had a relatively. I mean, I think a relatively important session on Monday. Um,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I think you guys had a lot of fun with it. I let you get away with more in combat than I think I normally would, but
yeah.
I'm definitely going to be, I think, running more combats like that because they were a lot of fun. Keep
Yeah.
things engaging for both me and you guys because combat can get quite linear, especially if you're a melee fighter. But I mean, I'll let you. We've met. Wait, no, because they'll know what happened because we've
Yeah.
described it
Yeah.
before.
We've talked
Yes,
about it. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, we recorded this. It's now Thursday. We recorded the episode where we described this on Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys will know what happened. Alex jumped off a
Yeah.
bookshelf,
Yeah.
attacked some hobgoblin. he was meant to be a really big, powerful, like goblin, hobgoblin warlord, really cool guy, can do a bunch of fucking damage, and they snuck up behind him, put a dagger to his throat, and dragged him through. And
Yeah, it was great. It nearly went like to shit.
it did nearly go to shit
It
towards the
nearly
end
went
when
to
you were
shit. Yeah, yeah.
fighting the goblin monks.
Yeah. Oh, but I love it. I love combat like that. And I love that you allow combat like that because
Yeah,
honestly, I would be bored out of my mind if every single round I just had to go, I hit him with a battle axe and I roll and then that's it. I'd be absolutely bored out of my mind if I had to. Like, I love martial classes. I love them so much only if you're allowed to be creative.
I
Otherwise, they
think so, and
suck. Yeah.
I think you have to be. I think I don't know. I don't. How do I say this without? No, I'll just say if you don't allow people to do that, you're a bad DM.
Yeah. Yeah. I can agree. I mean, like,
Like
it's yeah.
it might stretch the rules a little bit, and it does require a lot of quick thinking and improv to be able to be okay. You could do that, but you don't do that much damage, or you do this much damage, or roll this and roll that. And I think for a new DM, that can be quite the challenge. But like once you get more used to just being like, oh, okay, I'm gonna give this guy an extra 10 hit points, or
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
they deserve the kill on this guy. I'll kill him now, even though he's got 9 hit points left, or just stuff like that. You get used to being able to do this and be
Yeah.
like, okay,
I think it's about flexibility. Like, the thing is with D&D, and like always had like a minor problem with is um like like it's weird, but like damage and killing things, right? Because for instance, if you went up to, I don't know, the captain of all of the like the knights in the country, like the big boss of them knights, and you snuck up to him and stabbed him in the head, right? Like, you specifically went for his head and you stabbed him in the head, and then they're just like, you just like roll for damage, maybe double it, do whatever, and they survive. It's really weird, and I've always had my problems. Like, I get that like, people would be annoyed that you've just insta killed like the boss, and the DM would be like, okay, which is the whole point, so you don't insta kill things. But at the same point in time, you just have to up the roll. Like, I know it'd be for the AC, but just be like, okay, if you're specifically going for the head, it's going to be more difficult. Let's up the DC that you have to get to actually
yeah,
hit him in the head and kill him. Right? I've always had like a thing for it because it's weird. Like, if you're trying to do something to someone specifically, and all you get to do is roll normal damage, even though you're doing something that is not just hitting them with a sword, it should be changed. But like, only a few rules touch on that in D&D, in like the DM's guide and whatnot.
yeah. I think okay. I'm thinking about it now, and I'm trying. Yeah, okay, now that you've said that, I fully agree with you, and I think it's definitely a balancing issue that people don't run it. But I'm thinking about it now, and I'm trying to work out what I do. I think I'd want two stealth rolls to get up there, one to get to him, and then one to move the knife in a position where you can sort of stab
Yeah,
him in the
yeah.
head.
It would definitely, it would be a lot of rolls. That's the thing. It would definitely be
Yeah,
stealth rolls. Um,
and
I think I'd make them do a sleight of hand for the purpose of being able to accurately get the sword close enough to the head to hit it, and without dropping your sword or fumbling or falling over your feet
agreed,
or anything like that, like a sleight of hand. And then
agreed.
obviously like a roll to hit, but I'm going to add to the armor class like temporarily.
See, this is what I'm thinking about now. For the armor class, you could add something like their percept. So their perception's wisdom, their wisdom roll, or maybe
Yeah,
even their dex roll, their dex modifier to their armor class.
yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely, because yeah, they could react. There's all sorts. Like, there's a lot of factors to
Yeah,
factor in. So I get why D&D, like, it's not in the rule book because there's so many things to factor in. But it makes for more creativity, right? Like, at the end of the
I think
day,
so.
yeah, because it makes sense
Absolutely.
as well. Like, and for instance, if you're like fighting someone, the whole fight is not just going to be like with this is like just in real life. If there were two people fighting with swords, the whole fight is not just going to be I hit your body, you hit my body, we bleed a bit until one of us
Exactly. No,
bleeds.
exactly.
Like, people will lose limbs or just get a sword
100%.
through their heart. Like there's a lot more to it than just hitting each other, which it like which is why when I do it when I DM, I'm going to be so much more lenient on things that you don't want to do. Like if you don't want to, like, sure you can do it, but I'm gonna make it difficult. Like it's gonna be a hard
Yeah.
level because it's a hard thing to do, right? That's the thing.
But I think with the going back to the sort of what you said about sneaking up, we can have a conversation about that in group, in party on Monday, and we can sort of decide on how we want to do that. And I will be fully upfront and transparent with you guys that that is what they're going to be doing. Um,
Yeah.
but it's got to work both ways, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah, of course.
Do it to an enemy, they can do it to you. So that's why I want to have
Yeah.
that conversation about how we calculate the AC.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I think it's something that some DMs shy away from is when someone is when there are when you're in a combat situation and you're especially with like humans and humanoids, so like elves, the things with a decent level of intelligence, they can probably work out who the cleric is, and they
Yeah.
might the party cleric first to take them out.
Yeah.
It
No, I
seems,
agree.
but that you've got to run it in a way that's both realistic and consider the fairness of the game as well. So you can't just solely be targeting the cleric and then leave everyone else unharmed.
Yeah.
But you've got to do that to an extent as well, I think.
Yeah. There's definitely like some balancing stuff. But yeah, I feel like there's to be more lenience with some things. Like for instance, as well, after a certain point in time, um, like you should just be able to just chop like a goblin's head off or something. Like after you're like level 10 and you've got a normal
Yeah,
goblin, like yeah, you still rolling for damage and it's likely you're going to one hit it anyways. But if you don't, that's stupid. Like because you just rolled bad. So like I would just be like, okay, there's a goblin, you can roll to hit, but I'm just going to say you kill it because you're above level 10. Like if it's got 9 hit points and you don't kill it in that
yeah,
strike, it doesn't make sense to me because you've got like 95 hit points and you do like 2d10s plus whatever of damage and you've just somehow not done that because of a bad roll. Like it's weird.
yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
I'd ever be that kind to you guys, but
Well, to be fair, you'd never put us against goblins when we were level 10, so it just wouldn't get to that point, I think.
that's true. That's true.
Mm.
So, having this conversation about D&D rules and you starting to DM, I
Yes.
am going to be introducing a new section, a new.
Yeah,
You hit me with having to play a game against the guests, and
I did.
I'm
I
one
did.
all. I'm one all. Just making sure you're aware of that.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a D&D rule.
Yes.
Um, now this rule I'm going to read you is incorrect,
Okay.
but I want you to tell me what the correct ruling is.
Oh god. Oh god.
When a wizard casts mage armor, they gain a bonus to their AC equal to their intelligence modifier.
That's not it. It's just a +2, isn't it? It's just a +2 to AC, I'm sure. I might be wrong.
Well, you didn't even let me finish, but you
Oh.
are correct.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
it is AC plus their dexterity.
Oh, AC plus dexterity. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
it's 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 no, it's 13
Yeah.
plus their
Oh,
dexterity.
okay. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
So, yeah.
like a normal armor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
What I
yeah.
was gonna say, it becomes their intelligence modifier times by the armor level, by the spell slot level.
4. That would be a lot. Damn.
which would be an
Yeah.
insanely high AC,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is why I said it was a very easy one to start with.
yeah. That's understandable. Yeah, and that would be crazy. Damn.
It really would
Nice.
be insane, wouldn't it?
Yeah, something like that would be. Yeah, I don't even
Because
think about
what
that.
you cast mage armor at level 9, like you're never getting hit.
You've got what? And if you've got plus 5 on intelligence, that's a 45. You could have like
Yeah,
16 AC. You're gonna have like a 51
no,
AC,
that's
like, not 51, a 61 AC overall. Who's gonna hit you?
yeah,
I genuinely, who's gonna hit you? That's that's just
nothing.
ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Yeah, that is wow. Fucking hell. Oh, I was nervous waiting for that part for the segment. I was like,
Oh,
wow,
really?
if I get the rules wrong, then I'm just gonna look so awful. Like, yeah. Plus, I think the +2 AC part is Baldur's Gate, and you can quote me on that. And you can search it up. I'm pretty sure that's what they have in Baldur's Gate, um, as opposed to the 13 plus. I think it's the Baldur's Gate version because of
I
my
won't lie,
explanation
that is
of
kind of
Baldur's
why
Gate.
I did mage armor, because I had a feeling you would remember
Oh,
it from Baldur's Gate, and I knew it
yeah,
would warp your idea of the rule,
yeah,
which
yeah. I'm
a little
pretty
bit
sure it's just
cruel
the
on my
+2.
end, but
Well, to be fair, Baldur's Gate warps a lot of rules in people's
it
minds.
does.
So,
It really
yeah,
does.
to be fair, I mean, now that I say that, I can't think of many, but the Mage Armor one is one of them. But that's just because, like, a lot of them is because it has to work for game mechanics as opposed to D&D rules. Like, it just has to work in the game. So I get that. Yeah, it makes sense. Um,
Hey, hey, Alex.
yes,
I think it might be time for you know
yes,
what.
yes.
I
For the horror story.
think it might be.
So, this one's relatively new on the sub. Um,
Okay,
about 3 days old. It's not bad. I
okay.
saw it before, had it in my favourites. Yeah. The title is I hoped I would never have to post here, but the player in last night game was truly worthy of this sub.
Oh
So,
wow. So someone was like, I will never post here, and
yeah,
then has broken their personal rule to post this story.
pretty
Oh my
much, yeah.
god.
So, we were set off to have a party of 4 players for a level 9 one shot, and of course, last minute something happened and someone could not make it. One of the players
Okay.
called their friend to come and take the 4th spot. I honestly should have just run the
Ooh.
game with 3 people because the person who showed up is truly something else. The first thing I asked related to the game was naturally, have you played D&D before? To which the response was a scoff and the words, yeah, I play E5. You know, the current edition. I shrugged it off, but in hindsight, this was a huge red flag.
What a prick. Immediately, what a prick.
E5. Wow. That's mental.
I've never heard someone call it E5. I've always heard I play 5th or 5th edition.
Yeah, or just like 5e. I'm sure he searched up current like D&D and it just said 5e and he read it as E5 or something. Anyways,
Yeah.
I then ask if they have a level 9 character and let them know I have pre-made characters to use if they would like. They hand me a binder full of lore. I have an entire plan for this character up to level 20. It is
Oh,
10 plus
fucking
pages
hell.
of completely homebrewed werebear bloodhunter and no ability scores or skills to be seen, but all the attacks and traits copied down. This is not exactly what anyone called a character sheet, but I don't say that. I tried to offer one of
I
the
would have.
pre-made characters as skeleton. Honestly, I would have just rejected the binder.
I would have handed it back to him, but like, that's not a character sheet. This is
Yeah.
homework. Get me a character sheet.
Honestly, yeah. I tried to offer one of the pre-made characters as skeletons. Maybe we can use one of these sheets as the werebear character. Well, none of the sheets really fit that character concept, but luckily they have another character concept that worked. He's like a regular guy, but he's immortal, but he deals like no damage. I laugh and say, go for it, sounds fun. Let's start already. As the night goes on, and with all of this information, I start to get the idea that this person has never played a game of D&D, no matter how many games of E5 they've played, whatever E5 is. It clearly does not use dice because this person does not even know what a 6-sided dice looks like. And I can understand asking some questions since you're using a character sheet written by someone else, but asking which one is the D6 500 times has me utterly baffled. To share just a brief example of this person's combat flow, this is their first attempted move on the first mini-boss fight of the dungeon. I jump up, behead him, and put the head in my bag of holding, and the head stays alive, right? To their credit, at least the player asked to use acrobatics to make the jump onto the ledge. Cut to the end of the night, the group made it about a quarter of the way through the one-shot, all because one player took about 4 times longer to do everything. I told the group we would pick up next week after the long rest, but now I'm sincerely hoping my usual 4th will make it. If that happens, I'm honestly considering restarting the one-shot from the top for everyone's sake. The moral of the story is, DMs, if you ask a player, have you played D&D before, and you get the answer I got, they haven't.
I honestly, I respect the shit out of going, I jump up and behead him, which is incredible. I respect that
Yeah.
so much.
That is insane. And one of the comments said, well, I'm a very new player, and obviously I get my D10 and D12 mixed up, but the D6 is the one die I know because it's the only one that looks like a die.
Yes, yes.
Like, it's quite literally just common dice.
Yeah.
A D6 is a regular dice. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I can understand maybe getting the D20 and the D12 mixed up. They're very similar. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another combination. The D8 maybe in something.
Yeah, the D8 and the D10 I can see sometimes. Not so much,
Yeah.
but I could see it. Like, yeah. The D12 and the D20, because people just look at a round one and go,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the D6 is like the dice that you use
The
as a
D6
child.
is literally just a normal dice. It is just the regular, it's a fucking square as well. It's the only one that's not pointy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I would have done as a DM in that situation.
The thing is, like, he's the person who's the player, like, clearly just misunderstands everything. So it's not like to the point like I would just kick them out. Like, I'd just be like, okay, I'd give them a rule book or something and just be like, read through this, have a read, and then we can start again. But
yeah. See, I'm in 2 minds about it because there's a chance that I try and give them any help playing their character and they bite my head off being like, I know what I'm doing. I've played D&D before. And they're like, well, you clearly fucking haven't, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that is quite possible. It just, honestly, though, just shrugging off the fact they called it E5, I was just calling it E5 is hilarious. I think that's so funny.
It is.
Oh, God.
It's an interesting thing. I don't think I've ever heard anyone call it that.
Never.
Genuinely never heard it.
I
played D&D, and then most people, like, if you say I play D&D nowadays, most people assume you play 5th.
Yeah, I mean,
if you don't, though, people will specify I play 3rd edition or I play 4th edition or 4.5.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, yeah, I don't think anyone's ever really asked me what edition of D&D I play.
Yeah,
it's just assumed to be 5th.
and if they play anything else, they'll tell you because it's relevant.
Yeah. I don't even know where he would have read that. Like, the only logic I can think of is... Actually, there is none. I'm just going to be honest, there is none.
I'm wondering... No, never mind. Okay, does he just play Baldur's Gate? But then even in Baldur's Gate, you can't just jump up and behead something.
Yeah. And there's like... Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know. I really, like... At least he has to roll acrobatics. He has some... He's got to have a minor understanding of the game.
But that sure, okay, to me that just says like he made someone roll an acrobatics check to do something in combat before him. But this guy was like, "Oh, I need to roll an acrobatics check, but I don't need to roll to hit, roll to do damage, roll to do anything, but I need to roll to jump."
Yeah, yeah. And I like the fact that he put it right into his bag of holding and just ask if he stays alive. Because why in a one shot would you need to carry around the head of this like mini boss in the bag of holding? That's just
Fun, I guess, just fun.
I guess that
I think that's
yeah.
probably the best one we've had. I think.
It's got to be the goofiest one I think I've ever read.
Yeah, it's the least bad one we've had by
Oh
a
yeah,
decent
like it's
margin.
it's the least normal. Like I would never ever expect any of that to ever happen. It's probably a rare occurrence for DMs to just have someone pull up and
Ask
just be
what a
like,
D6 is.
yeah, ask what a D6 is.
So
You
it's
know,
relevant for just a person in general.
yeah, just say that they've cut someone's head off and put it in a bag before anything, um, and give them a binder of ideas up until level 20 for a one shot. It's
With no
definitely a
stats.
first. Yeah, no stats, just things like traits and skills and things. Um, it's
It
very
feels like they might have come from LARPing.
yeah, yeah. I could see that. Yeah, I could see them like
Because
coming
it's
from
all
LARPing.
about the aesthetic and what I can do, and they
Yeah,
don't really consider the stats because they're not. It's not relevant in LARPing, I guess.
no, it's not because you don't roll for things in LARPing. It's real life, isn't it? So
Yeah,
like, I
I mean, I have
guess
very
yeah,
little idea of the LARPing community. Maybe that's someone we
uh,
can get on.
maybe yeah. I've never really thought about like I know people who do LARP like in the D&D community. You'll just find them like LARPers or people who do
Yeah,
LARP, right? Like it's just that's just common like things. But yeah, I guess I've never really talked to them about the relation to
the
D&D.
LARP
I guess
community.
yeah, could find someone. I'm sure there's quite a few
I
people.
think so.
There should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, but yeah.
Well, it was that was I wasn't expecting something quite that innocent. Really, it's innocent,
Um,
relatively innocent.
yeah. I mean,
I mean, none of
it's
our stories have been intense, but
well, I wouldn't say intense, but there was that one story that was just a bit insane,
oh,
wasn't it?
the microtransaction one.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was just a bit insane.
I think that's we should absolutely start a list. Editor, our editor friend, can you put a list and like put in the top corner now somewhere our worst story and just have it say, well, I mean, if you're listening, you won't see this, I guess. Close your eyes and visualize letters popping up that spell out microtransaction DM is our worst story.
Yeah, yeah, like without a doubt. And this one would have been like the tamest one, I guess.
I
Um,
think tamest story is what's a D6 guy?
yeah, I mean, oh
Thank you,
god,
editor.
yeah, thanks. um, but yeah, that was that was the horror story for this week. Um,
Yeah.
it's an interesting one. Um,
It definitely has been. But
yeah,
how long have we been doing this podcast now?
um,
Since August?
yeah, I think yeah, because
4 months.
yeah, it has been since August, hasn't it? Because yeah, you messaged
Yeah.
me. You messaged me when I was on holiday. Like, do you want to start a podcast? And I was like, yeah, okay. I just went back to my holiday. I was like, oh, cool. Let's start the podcast now. That was sick. Yeah, it's been about 4 months. Yeah, I think.
4 months. And we're
Yeah.
already getting big guests on. Big,
yeah,
huge guests.
yeah. Um,
Crazy.
it's been pretty good. Yeah, I think so. We are going to still upload during Christmas. It will just be
I
pre-recorded.
wait. We've had our discuss. Is this going to be the Christmas episode? I think it might be.
Oh wait. Oh, that's a great point. If this is the Christmas
No,
episode,
it,
so this so we've got
no, it's not.
no No, the Christmas
This episode will be out
episode.
on the 30th of December. I
Wait,
think.
I thought this would. Wait, is this not the one before
Oh no,
yesterday's
you're right.
recording? So
No,
this is the
you're right.
16th.
It is. The one we recorded yesterday is the wait, no, wait. Well, this no, I can't say who it is because you won't know who it is. I know who it is because we've recorded it
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
Oh, well, our previous guest, you are our Christmas episode coming out on the 23rd of December. Which
Yes.
looking back, should have worked that out or maybe said something. It's irrelevant. Christmas doesn't
We
exist
could
in
we
D and
could we
D.
can do a Christmas / a New Year's episode on the next recording. That'll be fine because that'll be the 30th. So yeah,
Sure,
it's close enough.
sure.
Yeah,
We can do
yeah.
that. We can do that. But Christmas doesn't exist in D and D.
Exactly. Yeah,
New
Christmas
Year's
is not
does.
a thing.
I think a New Year celebration is a thing that most worlds should do.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. To be fair.
Speaking of celebration, Wednesday group update.
Ah, yes.
They have a festival named after them now.
Honestly, they're so much further ahead than us. Like when you put that in, I was like, wow, they're in a new place. They're in a new city or village or whatever, a town.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
See, so you said the name of the town. I can't remember it now.
Bale. It's
Bale.
where you're heading next.
Ah, is that where the
forest fire?
Yes, that's where they are. Fancy.
It is.
Yeah.
So their party is called the Daisy Chains.
Oh. What's our party called?
I don't know, but the Friday group are called. It's fucking ridiculously long. It's like A's Arts Association, AA for short. In brackets, something, in brackets, something, and it's I'll find it by the next recording, and I will read out the full name of Friday group.
Damn.
But it's insane. I think you're the only party I have currently that don't have a group name.
And we're 30 sessions in.
You are 30
no
sessions
party
in.
name, and we're 30 sessions in. We should figure one out by now. Really?
Yeah. Because you might need one. You might also get a festival named after yourselves.
We might. I mean.
So yeah.
Yeah.
They'll now celebrate the Day of Daisies.
Damn. Are they already leaving the village then? The town?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're leaving. They've completed and moving on.
To the next
They're
goblins.
on their way to the next. They're doing one more goblin place on their way out of town. They're going to do another 2 on their way to the next location, and then they're going to their next job location.
Damn.
Which is Kea Athil.
Oh. Fancy.
Which is the next major town after Fallion that you will be visiting.
Yeah. I was that reminds me. I was actually looking at the whole map. I didn't realise how far Okra was from. It's like the other side of the fucking world.
Oh
so
yeah, it's a journey.
Yeah, it's a long old trek. I was looking, I was like, wow. It's like we're not going here for a while. Damn. This is
Arc 2, you will be.
Arc 2, yeah, and we can implement the getting tiredness for travel. Yeah.
Yeah, which I haven't spoken about yet on this.
No, we've not talked about it. Yeah, because episodes, maths. Yeah.
We've both fucked up today thinking about
we
that.
We have. But it dawned on me as well. It's a good thing. Okra's snowy, I think. Dan's a Goliath, so it works perfectly. Like it works amazingly.
Dan will have clothes for Okra and will not need to buy new ones.
Oh, he doesn't even need to wear. He doesn't even need to wear. God, stumbled twice. He doesn't even need to wear clothes because Goliath lore here. They actually they're in the character sheet. They're actually resistant to cold damage because they grew up in mountains. So
cool.
Yeah, technically he doesn't. He will, because
Looks like Dan's fucked in the desert then.
oh yeah, of course he is. Yeah, I have no faith for Dan in the desert. Yeah. Oh
I
god.
can just imagine Dan in a desert, confused, being like, "Where's everything? What is this?
Oh,
Why is the ground hot?"
honestly, um, I don't even know which. I'm guessing the desert regions are like Vendrum side, or
No, they're not far from Okra.
oh,
If you
oh,
look at the map, it's like not far. It's like Athil
oh.
and the island just off Athil. I forget its name. Ordra, maybe? No,
I
I don't
see.
remember.
Yeah,
There's like 10 kingdoms I've got to remember, and all
yeah,
the cities and towns. And currently, I'm just focusing on Arion, where you guys are.
yeah. Understandable. Um, yeah, I've still got to do the map for mine. Ah, yeah, I'll get there when
I
I get
will. Will I can send you some software for a map for
there.
map
Ooh,
making.
yes, please.
Uh, it's fun.
Yeah,
Anyway, I think that's about what we'll call it for today. A shorter episode than we have been doing. Um,
yes,
but I think given that we've recorded 4 times already this week, we are pretty chatted out.
yes,
Which I
yes,
guess
yes.
is something we should have considered
Probably,
before starting to record today.
probably, yeah. But oh well.
But
Um,
uh,
yeah,
yeah, thank you for
um,
watching
yeah,
and listening. We are on, as always, Spotify, YouTube, Google, Apple, all these places, all these wonderful podcast places. Everywhere you can get a podcast, that's where we'll be. We are starting to grow our TikTok following, so do go and follow us on there. We're fully now on Twitter, fully active on Twitter, so go and follow us on there. I know that's news to you, Alex.
I
I
saw
can
an
see,
email. I was just like,
I can,
okay.
I can see you going along there, but we are fully active on Twitter now. We are on Instagram, I believe.
We have an Instagram.
I will.
It's we have an Instagram.
What
I'll
we're
get
on the
around to it.
Twitter. If you
Yeah.
talk to us on Twitter, that'll be me. If you talk to us on Instagram, that's Alex.
I'll get around to it. I
If
will.
you talk to us on TikTok, either one of us, because we both have access to that app,
Yeah.
and we have discovered we can both type at the same time
Yes.
in that app. So you could be talking to both of us at the same time if you get
Yes.
real lucky.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Um, Yeah, and if you have any creators that you would like to get like us to get on, do leave us comment. Tell us who
Yeah.
you want, and tag them. Get
Yeah.
them,
Take them
tag
down.
them. Let them know that you want them on here, and we will try our best to work something out with them if they are interested.
Yeah.
Um, do go over and give as much love as you can to the previous guests we've had on. They are all fantastic, and any future guests we have on.
Yeah.
They're all amazing. So yeah, thank you for listening, and we'll see you
Yeah.
next week.
Goodbye.